Okay. Let's do the melee role quests. I look a little overdressed for this. The hunter and the hunted. I gotta get... First of all, I have to remember how to speak. Second of all, I have to get my my voice all warmed up. Me. Aquafina. Final Fantasy XIV. Okay, we're warmed up. Hello there. I take it you've spoken with Brooke Avu. Willing to lend a hand? Mm-hmm. I'm truly grateful. Then allow me to introduce myself. I am Shashepia, and I have traveled far from my village in the forests of Shaktural in search of a brave soul to help us retrieve our stolen treasure. For generations have my people watched over the Dreamweave cocoon, the vessel in which the power of the swallow-tailed Tural Vidral is sealed. Before its ascension, the swallowtail warded off would-be predators by assuming the form of more threatening butterflies, poisonous ones and the like, through its skill at mimicry. So it survived day after day, summer after summer, until the dawn of its great new existence. It became capable of taking on the form of any creature which crossed its path. This fearsome power was sealed within the cocoon, and any who possess it command the selfsame abilities. Indeed, the wielder too may assume the form of any manner of beast or man they've beheld. Yet this mimicry is not limited to merely physical forms. No, the wielder may replicate the talents and abilities of their target, so long as such actions fall within their ken, that is. In an instant, they may become a master of the hunt, a twin-blade-wielding viper, or a savage brush, with claws and fangs to gut whomsoever they please. It is this power which has protected my village from the predators of the forest. Though it grants many boons, the forest contains threats in equal measure. By donning the skins of its most formidable beasts, we've kept ourselves safe for generations. Without the cocoon, my village's very survival is at risk. That is why we have sent our foremost hunter, Itoka, to ensure it is reclaimed. She has never failed to capture her quarry, so I thought she would make short work of this ordeal, yet there has been no word from her. I fear this may be a hunt she cannot undertake alone. It is for that reason I wish to enlist the aid of one familiar with the lay of the land beyond the Great Sea, and one whose prowess in close quarters would complement her expertise with the bow. One of the villagers ran into the thief before he fled and said he intended to use the cocoon's power in Kugane, which I understand is the name of a large settlement located far, far to the east. Please, for the sake of my home, set out for this eastern habitation and assist Itoka with retrieving the cocoon. Leave it to me. Your willingness to aid is most reassuring. You have my heartfelt thanks. Upon arriving in the eastern lands, search for a Vieira woman carrying a bow and dressed in similar attire to myself. If you visit a tavern like this one, I dare say you may find someone who has seen her. Kugane. Welcome to Shiozaki Hostelry. How may I serve you? Searching for someone? As a matter of fact, I do distinctly remember seeing a Vieira woman of that description earlier, but I'm afraid I could not tell you where she may be now. Last from Tural, was it? Sorry, I can't help you. It reminds me, though, I heard Tural has its own local variety of spirits called mezcal. Been meaning to taste it myself for an age now. Oh, you have a monocle. That's not your voice. But you've no idea how hard it is to get one's hand on a bottle of it here. upstairs. A Viera woman wearing a bow? Why, yes, I do recall such a person. My bad. Oh, fuck, my bad. It was not hard to note. It was hard not to notice her, given how she was peering at every little thing. If she came from the distant lands to the west, no doubt. Kugane is quite the unusual sight for her. With any luck, she'll still be where I saw her, in the vicinity of the Sekisegumi barracks. I don't think I've ever had to say that out loud. Sekisegumi. Itoka-esque woman. The city is simply too large for me to cover alone. Perhaps it's time I returned home. Hello. I've come to aid your search, Itoka. Oh, is that right? I'm grateful, but why? I don't know. I see. Shashepia was always a worrywart. Always was a worrywart. Won't deny I appreciate the help, though. Ascertaining the whereabouts of the cocoon has been no easy task. I managed to secure room and board in this lodging after arriving in Kugane, and I've been using it as a base to track down the thief ever since. I'll tell you all I know. According to an eyewitness from my village, the thief is a middle-aged Hurrian male. It's all we have to go on regarding his appearance. Did I say Hurrian? Huron? Yet, so long as he possesses the cocoon, he can be anyone and anything. An elderly woman traipsing along the street, a child throwing a ball, mayhap even the dog chasing after it. Truth be told, I was nigh at wit's end trying to find him. That is, until I discovered that a series of unusual squabbles have been occurring around the city. After investigating these incidents, I found one commonality. The instigator in each case invariably had no recollection of the incident, let alone of inciting it. What's more, eerie accounts have begun to circulate amongst the residents. Some folk claim they've somehow been seen in two places at once. Based on all this, I believe the thief's been using the Dreamweave cocoon to transform into innocence and spread discord through the city. Stands to reason we can find him by following the trail of chaos left in his wake, no? And yet, even should we apprehend him in whatever form he's hidden himself within, there's nothing to stop him from feigning ignorance. Besides a secret remedy, of course, the recipe for an elixir which can forcibly remove the cocoon's enhancement has been passed down in my village for emergencies like this. I made sure to prepare a few vials before making the voyage here. I need simply throw the solution at the suspect, and the cocoon's weave of mimicry will unfurl on the spot. That covers everything. Now what say we see if there's any trouble afoot? The thief will undoubtedly not be far from it. Let me know when you're ready. We'll catch him together. Okay. I'm ready. I say we begin our search with the markets. I recall a great number of people gathering in the Rakuza district, I believe it was called. To think that all of this was wrought by mortal hands, remarkable, by people who have ever lived in harmony with nature, but that doesn't mean we condemn the ways of those who choose otherwise. In fact, in the brief time I've been exposed to settlements like this, I've come to see such places have their merits too. It's not that great. Kugane isn't a very walkable city. Look, you thieving whore son, I told you this isn't enough. But sir, that cannot be right. I'm sure I gave you your change in full. Enough. Hand over my money or I'll take it by force. The customer is suspicious. My thoughts exactly. I probably should have kept waiting. It could be that the clerk is withholding change. What in blazes do you think you're doing? Oh, sorry. Very, very sorry. Oh dear. 1,000 apologies, sir. I gravely miscalculated your change. I will return what you are owed immediately. I beg your forgiveness. Yeah. Well, I didn't know she was going to immediately throw it, but I'll exercise more caution in the future. I apologize for the disturbance. How dreadfully embarrassing. Well, a hunter doesn't quit after a single arrow misses its mark. Best not to dwell on what's done and instead focus on our next course of action. Let's see how things fare on Kogane Dori. Has that really always been Kogane? Where are the days my people leave the shelter and bounty found beneath the forest boughs? I was speechless when I first laid eyes on Tuliolal. A city with as many people as trees in the forest. Kogane is no less dense. That shit is called Kogane Dori. I can't believe how impossibly vast it is. My jaw dropped when I first saw it. I could hardly fathom where the horizon ended and the sea began. Before arriving in Tuliolal, I'd imagined the sea to be merely a larger, saltier body of water than the lake back home. There we would race from shore to shore. To attempt the same here, I fear would have fatal results. If you held W long enough, you could probably do it. I'll cut you down where you stand, you lecherous lummox! The hell happened to the frame rate? What's going on here? The big bloke yonder allegedly laid his hands on that grizzled fellow's woman. Afraid this may come to blows. Calm yourself, man. I have not done what she claims. You dare add insult to injury by calling her a liar? Ignore him. I told you that pig defiled me. Cut him down this instant. There is no truth to her words. Wherefore does she spout such rubbish? Kami, give me strength. Cut the bloody brute down already. Yes, not less than your head shall serve as penance for your crimes. Very well, let my blade prove my innocence. It's her, right? Was that really necessary? No matter. I was growing weary of this petty farce. It's time I moved on to bigger and better things. Oh, no, you don't. Oh. Damn. Oh. How odd. My bow is more out of tune than I realized. Sweetheart. Is it really you? Oh, thank the Kami you're safe. I found her lying unconscious in a nearby alleyway. She can only vaguely recall being attacked from behind before losing consciousness. So the villain knocked her out before assuming her visage in a ploy to deceive her husband. I fell for the deception like a complete and utter fool. I do not even know how to begin to make amends. There are no amends to be made. You simply acted as any husband would. What a nice, peaceful resolution that was. Due to your involvement, this matter was resolved without bloodshed. Naseki Segumi's thank you. It is regrettable, however, that the villain managed to escape. A criminal who can change their shape at will is exceedingly dangerous. Know that the Seki Segumi will alert the populace to this menace and remain vigilant for any suspicious activity in the city. I said way too much of that without breathing. Let's return to my lodgings. I'd like to go over where we stand with our elusive quarry. So was that closer or anything, right? As predicted, the thief has been using the cocoon's power of mimicry to incite conflict around the city. What he hopes to accomplish by doing so, however, is still unclear. And so long as he has this power, our sole means of tracking him remains the havoc left in his wake. A trying trail for any hunter, but I'm heartened to have a warrior like you beside me as I tread it. We'll catch him together, and when we do, we'll mete out the justice he deserves, Sir Aurora. Good to see you, Pharaoh. For better or worse, I haven't heard about any unusual incidents in Kugane since our last altercation with the thief. There may be a reason for that. Do you remember when he claimed he was moving on to bigger and better things? If we're to catch him, we may have to expand the scope of our search beyond Kugane. Yet he traveled all the way from Tyrol to this eastern land for a reason, and I can't imagine he'd go too far. Do you know of any other settlements nearby? The Ruby Sea is dotted with sediments. Dotted? People live out in those waters? But they're so vast, where would we even begin? Ah, so the Bakufu has an outpost at the Ruby Price? That sounds like the perfect place to start. Let's make our way there and avail ourselves of the soldiers' intel. If anything out of the ordinary has occurred, no doubt they'll be aware of it. Shall we? That's exactly where I didn't want to go right now. It means I have to walk instead of just teleport. Oh. Oh. Sure, I got it. Oh. Oh, do I just walk here? Yeah. Well, this is unexpected. What brings you to the ruby price? Blah, 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 blah. Dispute, strange you should ask. Not even a moon ago, the waters of the Ruby Sea were poised to turn a sanguinary shade. Please tell us everything. A Confederate skiff approached the Ruby Price without authorization, and its occupant began hurling insult after insult in an obvious attempt to provoke us. We did not succumb to their provocations, however. After warning the vessel we'd fire if they drew an ilm closer, they withdrew without a word. However, should they attempt to provoke us again, we will not display the same level of restraint, and the roar of our cannon shall signal their comrades to rally in full force. The waters will flow red, of that there can be no doubt. Tensions run high, not like this has ever occurred. I see. Thank you for the information. Might we speak privately? Thank God. I just didn't want to be near him. I had to fart really bad. Based on the testimony just now, I gather there's an agreement in these waters that the Confederates are not to draw near the Ruby Price, guarded as it is by Bakufu sentries. If that's the case, then as the soldier stated, I can only conclude that the vessel earlier was attempting to incite a dispute between the two factions, which fits the modus operandi of our quarry, wouldn't you say? Perhaps it was he who sailed under the banner of the Confederates. Whatever the case may be, we have nothing but conjecture. We'll need solid evidence before we can alert the soldiers here to this threat. I doubt they'll heed our warnings otherwise. First, we need to verify if any members of the Confederacy actually approached the Ruby Price. Do you know where their base of operations can be found? Mm-hmm. Blah, 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 blah. That way. Sakazuki. Looks like it would be fastest for us to swim there. What? Absolutely not. Not a one of my Confederate brothers and sisters would approach the Ruby Price without authorization. Those cowardly Bakufu dogs must have concocted this baseless rumor to get a rise out of us. Soldiers at the Ruby Price said that, did they? Pardon my language, but that's a load of shite. We have no interest in Hingan waters. If anything, I've seen their skiffs encroaching on our territory of late. If you ask me, they're the ones thirsty for blood. There is a gap in my blinds right now that is shooting the sun rays directly into my open fucking eyeballs if I sit up straight and normally. And it is so goddamn annoying. Okay. Ah, there you are, Farrar. Listen to what this person has to say. The situation is more grave than we thought. I'm thankful you came, and not a moment too soon. Captain Rasho ain't been acting himself, you see. Normally where he goes, Tansui goes, but not today. He showed up just earlier by his lonesome and ordered us to gather as many heads as able to join him on the Isle of Becco to attend some pressing business. Normally I'd oblige the captain without a moment's hesitation, but I had a feeling something weren't right, so I asked him what matter of business. We're gonna set the ruby price ablaze, he says. The bloody ruby price. I tried speaking some sense to him, but he weren't a mind to listen. Walked off saying he has no need of craven bastards like me. I don't know what's gotten into the captain, but he can't be anything good. Please go to the Isle of Becco and stop him and me comrades before it's too late. This Rasha acting strangely can't be a coincidence. We need to get to that island quickly. Do you know the way? Got it. We've not a moment to waste. Thank you. That was probably the fucking shapeshifter. Wee. Do I not have pants on? Oh my god. I'm sorry, I don't know why I gave stream an upskirt shot. My bad. Though, to be fair, it's just kind of happening to us. I hear voices. Seems they've gathered up ahead. Ugh. Blah, blah, blah. Those scum think they can encroach on our territory and get away with it. I'll be damned if we let them. Tonight we lay siege to the ruby price and seize it for ourselves. But are you sure? If we do this, we won't just be starting a battle. We'll be starting a war. You've been acting strange, Captain. What's gotten into you? Silence. I didn't ask for your bloody opinion. Those lion dogs claimed it was us breaching the agreement. I say we give the bastards what they deserve. Yeah. Yeah, you're not welcome here. Be gone if you value your lives. You're a terrible actor. Fuck you. Oh. Saw through my disguise once again. Don't tell me you count even a pirate captain among your acquaintances. What are you trying to accomplish? Why incite such a conflict wherever you go? Why? Sorry to disappoint you, but contrary to the passage of the Unbound prattling about freeing the world from the tyranny of government, I have no grand designs. I wish merely for everyone to show their true faces. Folk love to put on airs of sophistication and virtue, but push them towards the edge, and their masks slip off to reveal the monsters underneath. They'll go for their neighbor's jugular to save their own skin. You've seen it for yourselves. It's quite the spectacle. Damn it, the winds are too strong. Man of 1,000 faces is a true menace indeed. We'll return to Onokuro forthwith to alert the captain. Rest assured the Confederacy will be keeping a close watch over the Ruby Sea. I don't think for a moment he was an imposter, and the lies... I didn't think for a moment he was an imposter, and the lies he spouted about the Bakufu soldiers were enough to make my blood boil. To think what would have happened had you not been here to stop us. Kami bless you. All he wants is to expose people's so-called true faces? That he would use the cocoon for such a petty cause. Unthinkable. Let's return to Kugane for the time being. Damn it all. I can't believe a bastard like that. Ah, forgive me. I find myself more disgusted with that villain each time we see him. And to think all of this is driven by small-minded spite. From what I could gauge, he didn't fly towards Kugane during his escape. I believe he seeks a new settlement to terrorize. Now that the Confederacy and I are acquainted, I'll see if they can't help me sniff out his roost. No doubt where there's smoke, he'll be there stoking the fire. He'll be there stroking the fire. And I suppose I'll use this period to tend to my bow. Next time my arrow will fly true. Wonderful, you're here. Ever since the incident in the Ruby Sea, I've kept a line of communication with the Confederacy, and they just reported something you'll be interested to hear. Apparently a man impersonating the distinguished Lord of Doma was recently exposed. One of the Lord's retainers saw through the pretender's facade while he was attempting to stir up trouble in the Doman enclave. The impostor then reportedly transformed into a hawk and fled. Clearly our quarry now nests in Doma. I'd like to resume our hunt immediately, but I'm not sure where he may go after his failure in the enclave. Do any locations come to mind? A town in Yangsha called Namai, you say? That sounds promising. The extent of your knowledge is truly remarkable, Ferrar. Without further ado, let's make our way there and see if the residents have noticed any unusual activity. Okay. Have there been any quarrels of late? Why, yes, actually. Just the other day, the two of us were at each other's throats over a persimmon. She was only supposed to eat half, but she... Whoops. But she went and gobbled the whole thing. In the end, she purchased this one by way of apology, so I let bygones be bygones. What's that? This isn't the sort of quarrel you're speaking of? You're useless, Miyake. Useless. Trouble? None that I could think of. Well, bless you, always been peaceful. Ochimiya. By the Kami's grace, our quaint village has not seen strife since the Imperials were ousted. There's been news, however, of a man impersonating Lord Heian at the Enclave. As I am told, when Lord Heian voiced intentions to invade Nagsha, all present grew wary of the individual. None more so than Lady Yugiri, who saw through the farce immediately. After he was exposed, the villain fled the scene with haste. Unfortunately, efforts to find him have not borne fruit. None of the residents I spoke with reported anything out of the ordinary. How did you fare? I fare roar. Then it seems the villain is not here. Where might he have gone? Huh? What are you doing here? Hello. Friend of yours? Don't you hang your head like we're strangers? We just met moments ago, remember? You asked me how to reach the House of the Fierce? Uh-oh. Good grief, lass, you're lost, aren't you? I can understand your embarrassment, but I'll tell you the way again. Listen carefully now. Follow the descending paths leading north out of the village until you see a small pond, and simply dive in and swim. The House of the Fierce will be on the other side. Could he have impersonated you this time? This doesn't bode well. We must hurry. Much obliged, sir. One man's relic. Oh, isn't that Baja? Yeah. Yeah. Just how far must we swim to reach this place? I dare say my days spent in the lakes back home were about to come in handy. I kind of wanted to do the swimming. That's okay, though. Oh my god. Pharaoh speaks. My friends, it's come to my attention that the Khan of Azim Steppes' mighty Oranir tribe conspires in the shadows to invade Doma. We must not give them the chance. Invasion would mean an all-out war. There's only one solution. Under the cover of darkness, you must assassinate the Khan. Only with his death can this crisis be averted. They grow wary. Perhaps I should observe my targets more carefully. With all due respect, these allegations must be brought before Lord Hien. It is imperative we receive his instruction before acting. That would be playing right into the Oranir's hands. After all, an impostor disguised as Lord Hien was but recently exposed. An Oranir spy, there can be no question. Yet the spy has fled, their whereabouts unknown. They could be anyone and anywhere, weaving new schemes even as we speak. Decisive action must be taken. That's why I came to you. So the impersonation of Lord Hien was but a part of the Oranir's grand scheme? Why would those who fought alongside us for Doma's liberation conspire to invade? Forgive me, but you do not seem like yourself, Pharaoh. Something isn't right. Because I'm desperate. A shadow looms over Doma, and only with your help can I cast away its dark pall. Please lend me your strength. Our honored friend Pharaoh risked life and limb to see Doma free. Yet you address her with suspicion and doubt. If she says we must act first to prevent greater bloodshed, then we must act. It is true that she has never led us astray. Brothers and sisters, let us join hands with Pharaoh once more to drive back the shadow rising over Doma. What is the meaning of this? It's that infernal Oranir spy. Quickly kill her before she can escape. You sound nothing like me. Your charade ends here. It's you. Such persistent vermin. Are you truly the foremost hunter of your village? Ah, pathetic. You're nothing like that other girl. What was her name? Ah, yes, Itoka. She was fearsome, that one, right until the moment I drove my blade into her back. What is this? Don't tell me you've been masquerading around as Itoka herself. After all, that would make you no better than me. Hiding behind the name of another won't erase the blame you bear for everything that happened. We don't have that. What the fuck? I'm sorry. I swear I'll explain everything to you later. For now, we should apprise these men and women of the situation. To think he can transform into anyone, a truly fearsome ability. I shall alert Lord Hien to this threat immediately. Rest assured that all of Doma will be on alert. I was completely fooled. I have no words to express my shame. Whoops, I'm sorry. Upon speaking with you again, I realized though the impostor assumed your guys, he had neither your spirit nor grace. Forgive me. I will not fall for such a farce again. Might I have a word? The man impersonating you earlier, I'd recognize his face anywhere. Without a doubt, he is Samidare, a childhood friend. You know him? Please, you must tell us everything. I've known Samidare nearly my entire life. We learned the shinobi arts together, you see. Roughly 25 years ago, we engaged in our first battle as proud ninja, defending Doma against the Empire's invasion. With every fiber in our body, we met their mighty Magitech with nimble ninjutsu. As if moved by our resolve, the mighty auspice and guardian of Doma, Tama Mogosen, appeared on the field of battle to aid our cause. Yet our efforts were for naught. The Empire's might fell upon Doma like a hammer, and we were crushed beneath their overwhelming force. The occupation began soon thereafter, and so too did my work from the shadows. While I devoted myself to resisting the Empire in secret, Samidare was conscripted to their army and forced to become an Imperial spy. I understand he served them well, fanning the flames of war in faraway lands through rumor and manipulation. Indeed, as far back as I can recall, Samidare has ever excelled in the skill of subterfuge. It was only after the prisoner exchange that he returned to Doma at long last, but he was a changed man. He could find no joy or solace in the peace he once fought to secure for our nation. Instead, he sought to disrupt it. War has taught me the truth of this world. Civility is but a facade to hide man's savagery, and I'll prove it here in dear, dear Doma. The fool I am thought he was jesting. Only later, when I discovered the web of lies he'd spun to turn folk against one another, did I realize he meant every word. I tried to confront him, but he fled Doma before I had the chance. Nevertheless, I searched his home afterwards, and discovered a missive from an organization called the Passage of the Unbound. I have it with me here. Dear illustrious Samidare, we extend our deepest gratitude for your interest in joining the Passage of the Unbound. With each passing day, our secret order draws closer to its goals. We shall require exceptional talent for what lies ahead. Bearing these needs in mind, we've decided to welcome you into the fold. To celebrate the start of an auspicious future together, we invite you to meet your colleagues in Tuliolao and have enclosed your ticket within. Exceptional talent? Exceptional egos, more like. This Passage of the Unbound kept a watchful eye on nations far and wide to recruit cutthroats like Samidare who only follow their own desires. Upon his arrival in Tyrol, Samidare's ambitions guided him to my home, where he stole the Dreamweave cocoon and set out to use it for his own twisted ends. I'm afraid that appears to be the way of it. In all likelihood, it is the Passage of the Unbound which alerted him to this Dreamweave cocoon's existence. Today, Samidare attempted to incite war between Doma and the Azam Steppe by wearing the face of our dearest ally, you. Your timely appearance prevented the worst from happening. But so long as he can alter his form and face at will, who can say what tomorrow may bring? His years as a secret operative have made him a master at reading people. Should he decide to study his target before taking their form, I fear his schemes may not be discovered until it's already too late. Please be careful, and may the Kami bless and keep you. Attempting to find Samidare now would be a fruitless endeavor. He could be any bird in the sky or any beast roaming the wild. Let us return to Kugane. I'll reveal everything to you there, I promise. Who designed these stairs? I'm grateful for your help today. Once again, I let our prey slip away. The only silver lining is that we know who he is now. But more importantly, I apologize for deceiving you. As Samidare said, I'm not the greatest hunter of my home. I'm not Itoka. I'm Kuiki. I hail from the same village as Itoka, and I too am a hunter, but only in name. You've seen my aim for yourself. Yet most shameful of all is that it's my fault the Dreamweave cocoon was stolen. Normally it is enshrined in the deepest recesses of our home. Only Itoka had leave to wield it. The forest provides shelter and sustenance to many, and not all we share its bounty with are friendly. When great beasts threaten our home, the cocoon's power may be used to protect our lives. Yet I used it for my own foolish desires. I couldn't take it anymore. I was a hunter, yet could barely catch prey large enough to feed myself. I was forced to wash clothes, prepare meals, and tune bows. Just once I wanted to be acknowledged. I wanted to feel pride, so I used the cocoon's power to transform myself into Itoka. With her dexterity and finesse, I finally caught prey befitting a true hunter. And as I carried my prize home, he appeared. I found him collapsed in the middle of a beaten path. I never had reason to mistrust someone before, so I approached to nurse his wounds, yet the moment I drew close, he knocked the cocoon from my grasp and struck me unconscious. He was long gone by the time I awoke. I confessed my sin to the village elder, and in her boundless grace she forgave me, but I could not forgive myself. I left home that very eve in secret to pursue the thief, all the way to Kugane. After several days of fruitlessly scouring the city, who should I see but Itoka, as our most exceptional hunter? It came no surprise that the elder had charged her with recovering the cocoon. She was astonished to see me, of course. I had told no one of my actions. I feared she would send me home. When I expressed to her my shame, my anger, she consoled me and told me we would find the cocoon together. And I was certain we would until the day that duplicitous bastard killed her. You appeared soon after her passing. I thought with someone as strong as you at my side, maybe, just maybe, I could avenge her, so I lied. Like Samidare said, I'm no better than he is. I'm an imposter. But my desire to reclaim the cocoon is every bit as strong as Itoka's was. I'm so sorry for lying to you, Farrar. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me, and continue to aid me in reclaiming the Dreamweave cocoon. I had my suspicions, but I also had faith in you, and it's been rewarded. Thank you. I know with you at my side I can keep my promise to Itoka. For now, I'll remain vigilant for any news regarding conflict in the region. Please do pay me a visit when you find a moment to spare. I'm counting on you. Boo whoop. Farrer, I'm so relieved to see you. I thought you might resent me for lying to you, that you might refuse to lend me your help again. I'd certainly be hard-pressed to reclaim the cocoon alone in this foreign land. I truly meant what I said before. I'm counting on you. Though I'm ashamed to admit it, when I first arrived here I was nearly swindled out of an heirloom by a talking catfish. I'd been scouring the city for a shop to pawn my choker so I could secure room and board, you see, when the catfish approached me claiming it'd buy the necklace for a fair price, offered me a handful of coins that glittered like gold. I was about to accept the offer when Itoku appeared. In mere moments she discerned that the catfish's currency was counterfeit, and ended the transaction then and there. She dragged me to the markets afterwards and pawned her own necklace to secure lodgings for the both of us. From the moment she arrived, Itoku took care of everything. What I'm trying to say is, I can't do anything on my own. I'm reckless, impulsive, and I'm just really glad to have you by my side. It's been some time, my friends. Pray forgive my sudden visit, but I come bearing urgent tidings. Oh, I spoke with you at the House of the Fierce. What brings you all this way? I was able to make contact with Samidare. I told him I was willing to make amends and join my oldest friend in exposing the lies in people's hearts. He responded most eagerly and bade me meet with him in secret. Wait, really? Did he say where? Aye, Hell's Lid. I had a mind to lay an ambush for him, but not knowing the extent of the power he wields, I thought it best to seek help. And so I come here to beg your aid, Farrar. Your strength and valor are unequaled, and we cannot apprehend Samidare without you. They may never get a chance to catch him unawares like this. There's no time to lose. Wait, forgive me for speaking plain, Huntress, but I fear we would only be a hindrance to Farrar when the fighting begins. Let us go to Hell's Lid by skiff and meet her after the villain is subdued. Oh, I take your point. You're right. Without us there to distract her, Farrar can focus wholeheartedly on the battle. Sorry, would you mind going it alone? We'll be there as soon as we can. What was Hell's Lid? Was that a trial? Am I gonna have to, like, fight a boss? That is where I thought it was. That's the, Four Lords? Oh, it's a dungeon. Hell's Lid is a dungeon. Oh, we'll find out when we get there. Samidare is nowhere to be found. There is naught to do but await your companion's arrival. Hey, you alright? I came as soon as... Oh, is the battle over already? Where's Samidare? I was ambushed by a group of red Kojin. What? So this was a trap? Wait, over there. Nice. Thank goodness I made it. After all that time I spent in that old Kojin shell convincing his underlings to attack you, my blade was mere ilms from the skin of your back. Alas, a meticulous plan gone to waste. It seems I underestimated your strength and failed the huntress's tenacity. I dare say I'm outmatched, and no common beast I might mimic can stand against you. I must contemplate your deaths with more care, more rigor. Look forward to our next meeting. Goodbye. Forgive me, I needed to catch my breath. Samidare's friend was the villain himself. Yup. As soon as the skiff made it to the open sea, he threw me overboard. I damn near had to swim like a fish to make it here in time. He's made me into a fool again. He waylaid me before using a similar ruse. By the time I figured out who was what, Itoko was already... I always wondered how a craven like Samidare was able to kill her, our greatest hunter, and now I know. When Itoko felt the blade in her back and turned to see the face of her killer, she saw me. I'm glad I was able to prevent history from repeating itself. I don't want to lose you too. We should return to Kugane. Samidare may have planted more than one trap for us here. I may be misremembering or not remembering, but out of all the role quests, this guy seems like the most despicable. Like, he's actually doing fucked up shit. I feared the worst as I rushed to reach you. The moment Samidare was in sight, I charged without thinking, which in retrospect was probably for the best. If I tried to shoot him from afar with my bow, I might have missed, or worse yet, hit you instead. In any case, I'm relieved you're safe. I promise to be more wary from now on, particularly of familiar faces. I hardly need saying, but remember to keep your guard up as well. For now, I'll resume my efforts to gather information about Samidare's whereabouts. You'll be the first to know once I have a lead. Ooh. Good to see you, Feror. Or should I say, Samidare? There's only one way to be sure. I need you to tell me something only you and I would know. When I used the cocoon to take on Itoka's form, what creature did I hunt? You never told me. It's really you. That's a relief. Indeed, I never told you that my arrow struck a great wild boar, a prize for any hunter. Samidare is the only one who ever saw it. Sorry for doubting you, but I could think of no better way to expose him if he'd attempted to impersonate you again. I have to remain vigilant after all, even though there's no news of his plots. No news of his plots have reached me of late. From here to Yangsha, People are on alert for a many-faced agitator within their midst. Not even a stray cat is beyond scrutiny. While Samidare can no longer act so brazenly, I'm afraid this means his trail's gone cold. We also have another problem. When he pushed me into the Ruby Sea, the remedy I carried was soaked in salt water. I'm afraid it's no longer effective. No doubt his plan from the start was to eliminate the one means we had of undoing the cocoon's mimicry. We're at a disadvantage too great to ignore, which is why I intend to synthesize a new batch. I was just about to go procure the necessary ingredients from the supplier when you arrived. Why don't you join me? Zoned out for a second. I never heard of such materials. Where are they found? Deep in the forests of Tyrol, a land beyond the Great Sea and far, far to the west of here. Tyrol? I'm afraid my supply chain does not extend quite that far. I feared as much. It doesn't help that the materials can only be harvested when the season is right. Even were I to return to home now, I doubt I could find what we need. No choice but to give up on the remedy. Sorry, now we're at the mercy of Samidare's cunning. Hello there. Tell me, have you any salves that might ease my aching back? Hello. Sir, this isn't the apothecary. Where are your spectacles? Oh, yes, how could I forget? Ah, much better. Huh. Sometimes I forget that I'm as blind as a bat without these. Forgive me, Shirokashi. Excuse me, but do those bits of glass covering your... Oh my god. She's blind. She needs glasses. Well, yes. Are you unfamiliar with spectacles? I've seen folk wearing them before, but I always thought they were decorative, like my choker. Tell me, where can I procure a pair of my own? Yamabuki is your man. He has a breadth of artisan contacts who will ensure you receive a pair fine-tuned to your specifications. You'll find his shop on this very street. I'll look for him, thank you. I'm sorry, you must be completely bewildered. I thought a failure of a hunter like me would never be able to aid you in battle, but I've come to realize there's hope yet. Let's not crowd this stall any longer. Care to join me over there? Ever since I was a child, I've had trouble seeing things from afar. That's why my aim with the bow is so poor. I'm not fit to be a hunter, never was. It's only natural that chores like washing sheets and preparing meals fell to me. But I always yearned to do more, to be more. I've looked up to Itoka ever since I can remember. No matter how hard I tried, I simply couldn't give up on my dream. I had to be just like her. So I begged her to teach me everything she knew, from the basics of drawing a bow to precise aiming techniques that few hunters use. Yet, despite all her efforts, my sight failed me where it counted most. All my life I thought that this was simply how nature intended for me to be. I was content to accept my lot. Now I know that spectacles may improve my eyesight. I feel hope. If I could just try them, mayhaps my arrows would fire true. I could join you in battle and maybe even strike down Samidare with my own arrow. We may have lost the remedy, but this would give us an element of surprise, so I have to try on spectacles for myself. Alright, let's go meet this Yamabuki. She's already adorable, and with glasses on, she's gonna even look even more adorabler. A pair of spectacles. I can certainly get your order in the pipeline, but I'm afraid there'll be a wait. Fresh out of supplies, you see, and the next shipment isn't due for a number of weeks. Of course, if you're in a rush, you could roll up your sleeves and get the materials yourselves. All you need is the glossy shell of an azure hawksbill and a cluster of Aurland quartz. Bring them here and my affiliates can begin work immediately. Who knows what schemes Samidare might contrive should we let down our chase for weeks? Would you be willing to lend me a hand with procuring the materials? If we split up, we should be able to gather them in the blink of an eye. Oh. Quite the eager pair, I see. In that case, I dare say you'll be able to negotiate with the Blue Koji for a carapace of splendid quality. I visited Tamamizu during my investigations in the Ruby Sea. I'll handle the shell. That leaves you with the Aurland quartz. Pray look for a cavern near a shoal rock in the Ruby Sea. Sprinkle some glittering gravel to lure a shoal Iwamushi from its lair within and retrieve a cluster from its shell. Let's meet back here when we're finished. I'm not entirely convinced that we're not being swindled right now. What? I don't think I've ever seen this in my life. On God, for real. I don't think I've ever been in here. I need to commit this to memory for Eeyore Guesser. Okay. That didn't work. You're the first to return. I trust you have the quartz in hand? Excellent. This will make for a fine pair of lenses. Now we need only wait for your friend. I'm back. Sorry, I didn't mean to alarm you like that. I spoke with the Kojin of the Blue as planned, but soon learned that hawksbill shells have been sparse of late. They were reluctant to part with a single one. I was able to wear them down, though, until they proposed an exchange. If I dealt with the Red Kojin who had invaded their fishing grounds, they'd spare a shell. I knew my bow would be useless, so I took a leaf out of Farrar's book and fought him up close and personal. As you can see, I took quite the beating, but so did they. I may be a little worse for wear, but the trouble was worth it. I have the shell as promised, and with it, your associates can get started. Indeed they can. Let us first measure your eyesight, and then they can get to work. This is incredible. Everything is so vivid. Yeah. I'm sure I could hit a bird over the horizon. Come, Farrar, I want to fire some test shots at the sign over there. Hold on, this seems like a fine way to earn the ire of this Seki Segumi. I'll prepare some targets for you, so let's move somewhere less crowded. Of course, thank you for going to the trouble. I love it so much. I did it. I really did it. After all these years, my aim is true. When we find Samidare, he won't know what hit him. We won't know what hit him. I don't know if I can properly describe this feeling to you. After so long, I don't feel like someone pretending to be a hunter. Finally, I don't feel like a burden. As soon as I catch even a whiff of Samidare's trail, we stop him for good. When that moment arrives, please lend me your strength for one last time. Together we'll retrieve the cocoon and return it to my village. We do something I should have done a long time ago. My bad, gamers. Your timing could not have been more impeccable, Farrar. A person claiming to be an acquaintance of yours stopped by just moments ago wishing to have a word. About Samidare, much less. They're presently waiting in my room, so give me just a moment and I'll bring them here. Serena! You look well, Farrar. Forgive me for eschewing pleasantries, but there is an urgent matter I wish to discuss. When we first met in Reunion, what did you purchase at the market? Kinsai, as I recall. I had insufficient funds to purchase it myself, so you helped me gather Whisper Root to trade for it instead. It would seem you two have grown wary of imposters, then we can proceed straight into the heart of the matter. You appeared in Mol Elo a few days ago claiming he had been driven to madness, that he was assembling an army in Doma with plans to conquer the Azim Steppe. For a blessing, we'd already received word from a Doman envoy that an agitator was mimicking others and saw the ruse for what it was. Unfortunately, when we attempted to capture them, the impostor transformed into a sheep and disappeared among the bands grazing in the plains. When I informed our friends in Doma of the incident, I was told you have been using Kugane as a base to track down the perpetrator. I thought it best I apprise you of this happening. Samidare, he won't relent. His schemes won't end until we make them end. You may discover a clue as to his whereabouts in Reunion. If anyone in the steppe has seen him, that's where they will be. Now I must alert the other tribes to this threat. May the winds speed your way. Off to the Azim Steppe then. With any luck, someone in Reunion will have insight to offer. Soved. Conflict is forbidden in Reunion. This is known. As for my tribe, all is at peace. I heard a rumor of interest, however. It seems Magnai of the Orenir has been behaving strangely of late. Perhaps that is related to the matter you're investigating? Botokui. Someone is stirring up trouble? A quarrel among the tribes is as common as the rising sun. Not a day goes by without it. Now if you'll excuse me, I have goods to sell. Kindly continue your inquiries elsewhere. Conflict? Not besides the normal quarrels between tribes. Certainly no disputes on the scale you speak of. But I have heard rumors that Magnai has been sneaking out from the Dawn Throne. Where could he be going and to do what, I wonder? It's probably not the correct inflection or intonation for that sentence, but it's fine. Were you able to learn anything of interest? I also heard the rumors pertaining to this Magnai. One person even stated they saw him headed towards a place called Bartum's Meadow not long ago. Mayhap his is the form Samidare has chosen to take on. Whatever the case may be, we'll want to find the answer at Bartum's Meadow. We can't allow Samidare's depravities to go on any longer. Steel yourself, for when we next face him, we're putting an end to all this. And that time is now. Once the battle begins, there's no telling which form Samidare might take. An eminent warrior, a fearsome beast, or worse. He's also shown more scrupulous behavior in his preparations of late. Whatever his form, we would do best to assume that he has thoroughly studied its strengths and will use them to full effect. Yet I'm not the feeble hunter I was before. Together with your martial might and my exacting eye, we will defeat him. At long last, Itoka shall have her vengeance, and my village shall see the cocoon returned. We're gonna fight the fucking Taskmaster. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh my god. My beautiful bright sun, I would bask in your warmth till my flesh returns to the earth. Has the feral dog gone rabid? You speak these honeyed words to lure me into your cot only to slit my throat as I sleep. Hush, fool, I am your Nama. Though we've had our disagreements in the past, I've come to understand my actions were born of love. Yet, only now that I am forced to wed do I realize this. Despite my shame, I wish to confess my feelings before it's too late. Wed? A Datharlia beast like you? To whom? To what? Heian of Doma. By becoming kin, he seeks to leverage the influence of the Datharl to claim dominion over the steppe. The Doma knows no shame. Very well. I will consider your proposal, far-fetched though it may be. I cannot overlook the possibility that you are my Nama. But first we must gather our warriors. The Doman's impudence cannot go unpunished. We march for Doma come morrow's dawn. That's not Sadu. What are you doing here? Is it not obvious? They are spies of Doma, come to quash any thought of resistance. You must kill them quickly. But she is the Kagan. Aw. You two are quite the persistent pair. I had hoped to strike at your backs from the shadows, but now you force my hand. I will select from my repertoire the greatest warriors I have witnessed and use their strength to give you the death you so crave. Beginning with her. That's fucked up. How dare you? When my arrow pierces your breast, Itoko will finally know peace. I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker! Oops. You made me fuck up my rotation, you bitch. Stubborn fools. Very well, I shall bow to the might of that brutish Oranier. Oh, shit. Come on, what goes in? I shall drink deep of the ambient aether and render you to ash. Yoki? Isn't that the guy from Mario? Jiminy Christmas! Well, that's a lot of damage. It was definitely way faster than all the other ones. Yoki. No! Why's your voice changed 3 times? Yeah. Cute. Toka, it's finally done. What am I doing here? I feel as though I've just woken from the strangest dream. Well, you see... This cowardly cur assaulted you from behind and knocked you unconscious. You have shown the sun disgrace this day. You will feel his scorn impressed upon your flesh. You shall forget the warmth of his radiance. In the shadows you will scream, yet none will hear. Prepare yourself. I'm not familiar with that emotion. That was just portrayed. Death would have been too good a fate for him. He deserves to spend the rest of his days feeling the weight of his crimes. Now we've honored Itoka's memory and reclaimed the cocoon. No words can express my gratitude, Pharaoh. I can finally go home, but my community awaits our foremost hunter's triumphant return. What expression will come over their faces when the village disgrace arrives instead? I don't know if I could bear to see. It's simple. Transform into her and live the rest of your days as Itoka. That's the lesson we've learned from this. Our journey to reclaim the Dreamweave cocoon has come to an end at long last. Would that I could return home in high spirits. As I recall, you said Shashepia is the one who requested your help, yes? Let us make the journey back to Tulialal and report to her all that has happened. You're back. Were you able to retrieve the Dreamweave cocoon? Itoka isn't with you? Kuiki, thank goodness. You're alive. May her soul rest in the cocoon's embrace. Can't believe Itoka's gone. Yes, our village's greatest hunter is lost to us, while its greatest failure survives. Here, take the cocoon back where it belongs home. I have no right to return. Don't be ridiculous. You are a child of the forest. You are a dear sister. You can always come home. The entire village has been worried sick about you. We all saw how crestfallen you were when you so suddenly disappeared. We feared you took your life. For 3 days and 3 nights we scoured land and water to find you. Yet look at you now, Kuiki. Not only are you hale and whole, but you have reclaimed the cocoon too. I'm sure that Itoka's spirit hunting in the forest above is smiling down at you with pride. And she would much rather you take up her mantle and protect the village than wallow in guilt over her death. Nothing escapes your gaze now, after all, isn't that right? Thank you, Shashepia. It's settled. You'll return home with me, and finally our village can breathe a sigh of relief. And it would be remiss of me not to thank you properly, Faror, for assisting Kuiki in reclaiming the Dreamweave cocoon. You have my heartfelt gratitude. I was little more than a liar and a hypocrite when we first met, but during our time together, I discovered that I'm so much more than that. With the right tools, even I could become a hunter worthy of following in Itoka's footsteps. I'm truly grateful for you helping me see that. Farewell for now, Faror. I hope that one day our paths may cross again. I think that was my favorite of the role quests, for sure. Oh, look at all of them. Well, I think honestly I might save the those for tomorrow. I don't know how much there are for that. It sounded like there's new role quests for each role, but I wasn't really paying attention to it. I don't know what it gives you. I don't know what they entail. So yeah, I would like to. Is it 10? It's 10. Let's check out the dyes on this. So what I used to do for my Samurai Glamorai was the green. I think that she looks really good in green. Yeah, I'll have to mess around with this because I feel like this is gonna dye very well green, and I'm excited to see what that looks like. The fucking Endwalker job gear. Was it Endwalker? Actually can't remember. Yeah, it was Endwalker. I used the Endwalker Samurai gear dyed green for a long time, but this Dawntrail gear is like so ornate and very pretty. Only problem is I feel like I want to bring back the do I have it in here? Wait, that's what that is. There it is. The two swords. The two swords are fucking sick. Wait, what do I have equipped right now? What is this? That's the Neo Kingdom blade. Yeah, this doesn't fit with this gleam at all. it didn't even register. I really want to use this blade for this glam because there's two swords. It looks awesome. The problem is I can't dye it. I can probably augment it to dye it, but what I really want is the Alo Alo weapons. They look so fucking cool. And I think I can show it, maybe. I might be able to check it out. Not even the Alo Alo weapons. I just want that. It's not gonna be here. Oh, I didn't check weapons. Yeah, no. I don't know how it works. I don't know how you'd get it. The exquisite weapons. Oh, you actually get them in... Oh, hold on. You go to Radzat Han. You need one augmented weapon and an elevated Esther, which is acquired by Alo Alo. What, you trade it from Caldine? This isn't it. I think I need to... I think I don't even have the ability to get them. Like, I can't even look at them unless I were to get the shit. Yeah, I need to have exquisite gear augmentation. Which is probably only unlocked by doing Alo Alo in the first place. But anyways, I feel like I saw it at some point, but basically it's Higan Shigan, but with a, I think it was like a fiery effect, almost, on the blade. It's just a cool, glowy, augmented version of Higan Shigan. And that's the only Alo Alo weapon I want really badly. I'd really love that. There's a blue mage weapon from this? Oh god. Do I have to do Alo Alo Savage? I think I do. I think we have to go back and learn Alo Alo. I haven't even finished all the entries for it. And I haven't even done Mount Rockon at all. I feel like I could take Alo Alo Savage now. I'm gonna run a quick 30-second ad. I'm gonna BRB and then we'll play something. I love you.